Now, did you recently, you and Superintendent Sal Pasquarella, plead your case alongside local elected counterparts on Wednesday night to the area's group of state representatives and senators, which included several new faces after a series of incumbent upsets in November's election?
Oh, yeah.
Old promises for state money.
We worked together on a bipartisan basis. It wasn't really pleading our case. It was more, just pointing out important things for Danbury before they get caught up in the session and all the crazy stuff that goes on up there. So that worked out pretty well. I can tell you, that's not necessarily my thing, but you're definitely going to get legalized marijuana. That's happening.
Right. Okay.
That's happening.
And it's, I hear it's the gateway.
Well, I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah. Well, tell us about those mixed emotions.
No, because I think we've talked about this before, but as you know, I was a high school teacher, and I did see kids that graduated from marijuana to something harder. And then also, there's plenty of people that can use something like marijuana and not have any problems at all. So, I don't know. It seems to me like we could be adding to the problem. That's all I'm saying.
We could be, but I say the big upside, if you do legalize it, is the overcrowding of prisons with people who were just walking around with recreational amounts of marijuana to use, not to sell and distribute.
Agreed. However, the devil's always in the details. So however that law is structured, what we've seen in other states where they've legalized it, there's still a black market for it because it's so expensive to buy, at the store. So if they load it up with taxes and fees and all kinds of stuff like that, then you're still going to have the guy around the corner going, hey, come over here, let me sell you this. So I think they got to think all this through and be very deliberative about it. There's a lot of good models that are out there. The Massachusetts model is probably one of the best ones I've seen. So they should, get it done if they're going to do it, and let's all move on.
I was at my other job in the state of New York yesterday, and I could not believe the topic of conversation that had turned to people in New York worrying about Ned Lamont for people in Connecticut.
Why were they worried about that? Because of the toll situation?
Because of many situations. Many people, and it's kind of what we said, many, many months ago, is that people believe he is a Malloy clone, or maybe worse.
Yeah, he's actually a very nice person, and Malloy is just so abrupt and snippy, and he doesn't even privately. I can tell you, there's not a moment where he's not sort of on, and everything's political, and he's not a guy you want to go have a beer with.
Right.
Let's just say that. I will say Ned is a little bit looser and a little more friendly, so that's good. But they're still delivering, a message that is just going to be horrible for our economy. And even yesterday, they're already backpedaling on the tolls. Now, I had so many people during the campaign say, "Oh no, he only wants to do tolls for trucks, only for trucks, not for cars." Sure enough, yesterday, we got to do it for cars too. So you're going to get tolls in the state, and it's just another reason to leave Connecticut. I had 4 families that I was good friends with, I socialized with, go to their homes, we, go out for dinner. All of them have said, listen, if you don't win, this election, or the Republicans don't win, I'm out of here. And I was like, yeah, you own a home, a business, whatever. They're gone, man. They left. 2 are in Florida, one's in South Carolina, and one's in Tennessee. They're out.
We got Mayor Mark Boughton from the great city of Danbury here in Connecticut, checking in with us. A question for you, speaking about tolls again. The state is in trouble financially, and we're one of only 15 states that still don't have tolls. Don't you think that if we brought tolls back, keeping in mind that I don't travel the superhighways that often,
right?
Don't you think it doesn't it raise like $1 billion annually, possibly?
It'll raise about $700 million annually, of which Connecticut taxpayers will pay 70% of that. But here's the problem with that, and you're absolutely right. It really should be either one or the other. Okay, so right now we have one of the highest gas taxes in the nation, and they're not talking about lowering the gas tax. In fact, the recommendation is to increase the gas tax plus add tolls. So that's the problem: is that you've already paid to have all this work done through the gas tax, but the legislature, in its infinite wisdom, went and blew it all on stuff that has nothing to do with roads and bridges and important things like that. And that's why they're scrambling for cash now, and that's why you're going to pay more. But just understand that this is a tax that hits the middle class particularly hard. Many of those folks are driving or working careers in other cities, towns, whatever. And you've already paid for this, so you can't have both. Those states that have tolls don't have a high gas tax. That's why when you go to New Jersey, gas is 25, 30, 40% or 40 cents less than what it is here.
I want to go back to something you said earlier, and where you said they backtracked on it's only trucks. Let's just assume they stayed with that narrative that it's only trucks. That's sort of minimizing, those are big trucks physically that we see on the road. They don't necessarily mean they're big businesses. I had a listener call us and say, this will cripple my business. I have a fleet of trucks. I'm a small business owner, and the tolls will ruin my business.
Yeah, well, look, that's a problem. I would also argue that it's a violation of the Interstate Commerce Clause in the U.S. Constitution. I don't think you can do it. I think if he sued and a bunch of truckers got together and sued, they might actually win that. So you'd be forced to, put it on cars as well. I'm just saying, I agree with Ethan. I think you need money to fix the infrastructure, but you can't trust this group of people to spend the money on what they say they're going to spend it on. And that's our problem. I don't know how you fix it, but we better wake up real soon because our economy is going to be hurt very hard by this.
This is why Mayor Mark Boughton should have been elected governor of this state.
Yeah, buddy.
Listen, I don't make promises that I can't follow through on.
Right.
That's the problem. This is why people lose faith in government, where you say, oh, only trucks, and now you go, oh, but cars too. If you voted for the guy based on that alone, you'd be pretty ticked off this morning.
I want to recommend a blog for you to check out, Mayor Mark Boughton. It's called
Yes,
Lou's Dropping Names with his celebrity photos. And Mayor Mark Boughton makes an appearance at the bottom, but not without a shot taken out of him.
What's the name of the blog? I want it. I want to know who put it up. I want their names.
Yeah, go check it out. You're in there. It's good. It's good.
Well, what's the name of the blog?
I said Lou's Dropping Names with his celebrity photos. Check it
That's the name of the blog?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a great picture of us golfing too. That's not in there. I got to send to you. We look like a bunch of pears just rotting in the heat.
In front of your house this year.